The water cycle has some obvious key players such as the clouds, and we're going to go in and add that precipitation, which could form in snow, rain, fog. These are all elements of how that condensation occurs. And also you're going to have landforms, so we're going to use some higher landforms here, even higher ones there, and then add to this a large area of water, and this is going to be our shoreline coming around. It kind of wraps around. Now we're going to go deep. So this is going to symbolize depth, and this is going to be our groundwater in a minute. We're going to make these super high and put some snow-capped mountains on there. And obviously we've got always our source of energy, which is the sun. So adding some terms to it, this is going to divide up the value of where this is going, why this exists. We're going to end up with H2O, water as gas in the atmosphere through several processes. We have condensation, we have precipitation, we also have transpiration, which we'll add an item to in a moment, and then also nearby is going to be evaporation. Here's the key component we're going to add. So in this space, because of, we're going to draw our nice, amazing tree to represent all plants. That's going to be valuable because the groundwater down here, we'll label that too, groundwater. Try that again. Groundwater is showing the depth, so that's below it that way. So some things are going to occur. We've got some action items. We're going to put some items here in the form of what happens because of the elevation. We're going to have runoff. We're also going to have infiltration. If you break that word down, to filtrate, to filter, and then infiltrate, filter through, and add to that, filter down. And these are going to be our plants. So the geology of the space is filtering down. And then this is going to be represented by our water, and we're going to broadly associate that to the ocean. Transpiration is specific to plants. We'll draw an arrow in a moment. But this is going to be snow, ice as a product of precipitation. And then now our arrows come into play. So starting off, we're going to need to have a source of this gas, and this is going to be evaporation, which is going to lead to the atmosphere. So it is going up from this space. Also going to the atmosphere from the transpiration, plants, through their leaves, are converting their waste product, which is carbon dioxide, as well as they're giving off water and using that as a gaseous form into the atmosphere, which then condenses. So this is sort of like combining together and condensing. And as that condenses, you form clouds. And as the clouds form up, you're going to precipitate, which is that circular motion of working your way down. Now that runoff, downhill, down mountains, down below, down to that lower area of elevation. And then the infiltration will go into the groundwater. And the groundwater then will supply the details or the sources of that to the plants as well as from the ocean. So all powered by the sun and all using that source of energy to make all that circulate and flow on a